Conference, that's where the action is today as the Golden State Warriors get ready to battle. Tip-off goes to Houston. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Then there's Anderson, and it's Chris Paul, and it's Capella in at the pivot, manning the middle.
And guys, Steph Curry, the rare point guard who's almost as effective playing off the ball as he is on it. And the Warriors have really emphasized that as he's evolved as a player, bringing in a lot of playmakers who can set him up coming off screens.
And speaking of Curry playing off the ball in the past, Clark, we'd see him guarding shooting guards defensively. Some said trying to hide him against lesser offensive players.
Well, I think guarding two guards gave him a chance maybe to save some energy for the offensive end. But recently, Steve Kerr has had him on point guards more. You want your best players taking the challenge at both ends of the court.
That's good from Green.
Well, I tell you, the Warriors roster fit together hand in glove. They were led by the Splash Brothers, but the front court and the bench really complemented the rest of the team perfectly because all of the players for the Warriors were extremely versatile and highly skilled.
Both free throws good from Green. If you're talking about the Warriors, you know, they were built to play with each other last year. The bigs could all pass very well, and that set up the three-point threats.
And then even on the defensive side, I mean, they had players that really complemented each other. I mean, some undersized power forwards who countered with rim protectors. I mean, they also had the length at every perimeter position to switch on any play. So they are equally as adept on that side of the ball.
And here is Paul after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. And some nice passing there by Houston. Paul outside. Shot clock at 6. There's the three. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Paul. Harden's got his first 3 points of the game.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the three, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
Thompson with the bucket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Paul. Harden outside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Harden's got 5 points so far.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
McGee is screen on Ariza. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. That's good, and a nice assist from Durant.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now, here is Harden. He has 5. Capella kicks to Paul. They set the pick. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Last season for Chris Paul, another strong season. Yet quite a year for him in terms of media hype. He was as strong as ever on the court and off the court.
And that's a great point. You know, he did kind of fly under the radar. It's hard to imagine a first-team Hall of Famer in the future could do that, but a lot of it had to do with Steph Curry kind of coming on to the scene, splashing on the scene, if you will. But he is still one of the top point guards in our league.
He doesn't get the second one.
You know, for Paul, you talk about the lack of talk about him last year. Very quietly came close to the 50, 40, 90 club.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Now, here's Ariza. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
The 50, 40, 90 club, something only elite scorers reach, and Paul came close while playing point guard. He might not get the hype he used to, but CP3 is very much still one of the best in our league.
And Curry, here we go. Free throw line jump shot. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Curry's got 5.
It's been a very efficient first quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities and converting those that he creates.
Harden dishes to Anderson. Durant with the steal. Curry kicks to Durant. Releases from 15. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
And Steph,
they can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
For under $24 million combined, and you can bet he's due for a major increase in pay when 2017 rolls around.
Rockets trail by 11. Harden outside. They set the pick. It's Ariza on the wing. Anderson passes to Paul. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. The Warriors have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. Another shot. They get it again. Durant. Here's McGee. It's deflected. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Plays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
No hesitation at all on that alley-oop. Saw his teammate with the path to the hoop, and bang! Lobbed it right up there for him.
And he was ready for it, elevated, made the catch. You saw the result.
And you know what, though? I like the fact that he still chose that conservative finish there, just making sure he got the deuce.
And Capella sends it back. And it's Houston on the break. Paul's running. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Andre Iguodala is checked in for JaVale McGee. And a switch here also for Houston. Gordon's checked in for Anderson. So it's the Warriors now. 6-point lead. Curry kicks to Green. Pass to Durant. Green with a screen for Durant. Back to Green. In the corner, Iguodala with it. Durant for 3. The shot's good on the assist by Iguodala. 7 points for Kevin Durant.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And that's now 7 points for James Harden. Warriors leading by 7. Iguodala dishes to Durant. Shot left block. It's rebounded by Houston. Harden outside. And it's Iguodala with the rebound. The Warriors have gone an even 50% from the field. They are 7 of 14 for the game. Curry attacking. Shots good. Curry's got 7.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
The 3 from Harden, and that one's good. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. And here is Paul. Following Draymond Green's 3, it's Harden with the drive. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And some changes here for the Warriors. West is checked in for Green. Young comes in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Houston also making some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. P.J. Tucker comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Green in for James Harden. And Young, here we go. And he dunks it down.
about the grasp they had on the game plan for this one?
You know, I know it's early, but I don't think I'm going out on a limb when I say we could be headed for a blowout unless something dramatically changes and fast.
Now here's Paul. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Tucker the pass to Gordon. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here.
And no doubt the Rockets were one of the faster-paced teams in the league last year. When you have the firepower they do, you want it to become a scoring fest.
Looney's checked in for Durant. Here is Paul. Tucker. Great D that time from Iguodala. Pass to Young. 1:11 left to play here in the first. The 10-footer. He goes up again, and yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And, Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. That's good from Young. Here's Looney. Off the inbound, no good.
A lot of the wins for the Rockets, guys, I thought last year came from just wearing down their opponent. I mean, you can keep up with their pace for a quarter, maybe two, but it's very hard to sustain it for 48 minutes shot for shot. Another bucket in the paint, that's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here's Gordon. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
Now here's Paul. After Eric Gordon's miss. Feeds to Green. Shot to stop the run. It's rebounded by Golden State. Young outside. Pass to Looney. West outside. And he misses his first shot.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Warriors lead by 16. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And you talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged, that's classic coming from Chris Paul, but you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific play.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Warriors.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, also something I like out of them so far, they're throwing their bodies around in the paint, and the physicality is taking its toll.
Livingston and Thompson are the guards. Looney out there with Young. And it's McGee in at the 5 spot. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Looney. Durant comes in for Nick Young. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Sean Livingston.
And guys, James Harden, much criticized for his defense a couple seasons ago. I really felt like he was dialed in at that end, and he has improved mightily over that season.
Now, here is Harden after the miss from Klay Thompson. 5 to shoot. Harden kicks to Johnson. And Durant sends it back. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Durant. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Houston. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. And speaking of Harden's defense, remember that internet video a couple years ago, Clark, that compiled a lot of his lapses at that end of the court? It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, but sometimes you get caught on candid camera and it's motivation for you to get better. And I think that's exactly what happened with James Harden.
And the foul called on Joe Johnson. That is his first foul of the game.
Joe Johnson. First personal foul, 2 seconds.
Curry attacking. Thompson outside. And again, it's the Warriors missing. Rockets trail by 13. Johnson with it. Picked up by Thompson. Green against Harden. Kicks it out to Ariza. Here's the 3. Another miss by Houston. Golden State's gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. And Capella sends it back. Harden against Curry. Harden right side. No good. The Warriors go the other way with it. At one point, they led by 16. Here's Thompson. And Capella sends it back. It's Harden with the drive.
Just call him the Beard. James Harden, not just iconic, but also entering the conversation for the best player in the NBA.
The Rockets shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
Harden doing it all. He has 12 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
The shot's good from McGee. And speaking of Harden and being the best, he'd certainly tell you so. He referred to himself as the best all-around player in the league. What do you think?
And I think he's right in that category. A lot of people laughed him off when he said that, but he's been a legitimate MVP candidate. His defense has gotten better, and obviously his offensive game is off the charts.
Timeout called the Rockets. And for JaVale McGee, what was once such a promising career is now, Clark, I think, kind of at a crossroads.
Yeah, you know what? He is capable of being a major rim protector and rebounder, but I think teams are getting a little bit impatient with him because he's just not mature to the point that you would have expected.
Ariza no up. Warriors leading by 13. The drive by Thompson. Here's Curry. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them. And for McGee, it looked like he had taken a positive step last year when it was announced he would sign with Boston. The front office even came out and sang his praises. Then negotiations fell apart and McGee didn't play again for the rest of the season. Another in a long line of disappointments over his career.
You know, regarding McGee, he spent most of his career eyeing the money. He forced his way out of Washington partly because of it. Didn't sign with the Celtics because he wanted to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. He has to show that he can still play if he wants somebody to really pay.
It was the season of destiny, and the Warriors certainly followed through. Clark, the best team in the league all year, and they finished the job beating the Cavs in the finals.
And they were on a mission from the get-go. They would become another team to win 65 games or more and win the finals. Impressive work.
Now here's Durant. He has 7 and stolen by Ariza. Now Johnson. It's Harden with the drive. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. And that's now 17 points for James Harden.
And for the Warriors, they had tough opponents the whole way. I mean, the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Rockets, they all put up fights. The Cavs in the finals were just as tough with LeBron, but the Warriors found a way to come through. Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Now here's Anderson. Capella dishes to Harden. Johnson for 3, and he gets it to go. Johnson's got it back down to single digits for the Rockets.
And for the Warriors, it had been nearly 40 years, guys, since the franchise made it to the finals. They had a lot of pressure on them to win and finish things off, but they got it done and did it in emphatic fashion, winning on the road. The title solidified them as one of the all-time outstanding teams in NBA history.
Here is Harden following the basket by Stephen Curry. Ariza has the open look. Warriors with the rebound. McGee's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
And here are the Rockets now, following the basket by Stephen Curry. Puts up the baby hook, and it's Capella missing. Warriors leading by 12. Curry passes to Thompson. Back to Curry. Golden State moving the ball around. And the Warriors get it back. McGee's shot is off.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Durant against Harden. Now the pass to Johnson. Anderson outside. That 3 off the mark. Golden State's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. And Thompson kicks to Durant. Accurate with the jumper from the elbow. Durant's got 9 points.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach. And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
4 on the shot clock. Here's Capella. McGee with the block. And here is Curry. He's got 14. And that one's good. Durant.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they built this lead for themselves here.
And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that. Did you?
Yeah, right,
no.
right. Yeah, he probably just drone on as a broadcaster and would rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games, and Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
No. Hall is now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
You know, guys, that's what he does. He just loves to play that kind of attacking basketball.
Warriors leading by 14. 1:36 left in the second quarter. Livingston, that's good.
And scoring at will, starting to pull away here.
Certainly this one's threatening to get out of hand, and soon, partner.
Nene, the screen, kicks to Gordon. Young with the steal. And it's the Warriors on the break. Releases from 15. It's rebounded by Houston. And 1:01 left here in the second. That's good. Gordon's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
They're absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
Livingston, that's good. And the Warriors lead by 15.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Gordon goes in. Iguodala with the steal. Pass to Looney. Young dishes to West. He kicks it to Iguodala. Down low. Here's Looney. That falls. Nice speed that time from Andre Iguodala.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here that they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
They get a hand on it. Young with the steal. Lots of room. They get the rebound. West. The shot no good.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Warriors ahead as they wrap up the second quarter on a 14-5 run. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Steph, what's been the key to what's working well out there for you guys right now?
Defensive end, we rebound the ball, keeping them off the glass, and being able to execute on offensive end.
Steph, thank you so much. Plenty of ingredients to a solid effort, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lopsided game through the first half, that's for sure. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined again by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, it has been an electric performance. These guys were firing on all cylinders. They came out aggressive, going after those rebounds, and they were piling it up. I think they wanted to send a message with their physicality, and they're going to be nearly impossible to stop if they're playing that way.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Barbecue chicken. They were completely overmatched in the low post. I couldn't believe the amount of points they allowed in the paint. Wow, I thought I was out there scoring, playing basketball. They got to switch things up, get some different matchups because they are getting eaten alive. Barbecue chicken.
So that does it for us. Hope you enjoyed our halftime show. Now,
and as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
It's as if he can get to the rim any time he wants. And in that first half, he wanted to quite a bit.
And that's where his points were coming from. I mean, the defense has to do a much better job of challenging him at the rim.
And so in the game for the Rockets, Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Then it's Chris Paul. Then there's Anderson. And it's Capella in at the 5, home in the paint.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
And Green gets it to go.
You know, it's hard not to think of great shooting when you think of Kevin Durant. What he's really worked on over the past few years, though, is his playmaking. He's averaging 4 to 5 assists a game these days. Impressive.
Now here's Harden. He's got 19. Stolen by Thompson. Durant attacking, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
You go back to before last season with Durant. He was set to lead Team USA to the tournament, but had to withdraw from the team.
And, you know, withdrawing Kevin might have been the right play to keep him healthy. He still ended up on the shelf a good while last year, but I still think it was the right decision on his part.
And as competitive as Durant is, you know, it was strange to see him take himself off of Team USA. But let's face it, that Paul George injury played a big role, not only in his decision, but in a lot of guys throughout the league.
And the wide open shot from Green. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 6 assists in the game. Harden against Thompson. Harden the pass to Paul. Can they get it? JaVale McGee grabs the miss. McGee's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
And you know, Durant was not the only one affected by that injury to Paul George. To see something like that happen in an exhibition game can make anybody think twice about summer play.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Now here's Paul. Dishes it to Ariza. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Ariza's got 7.
A delicious dime from Chris Paul there.
And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Now here's Paul. After the miss from Klay Thompson. That's good.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
Now here's Curry. He's got 14. Shoots off the step back. Rebounded by Capella.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Harden kicks to Capella. Paul dishes to Ariza. Launches a 3. That doesn't go either for Ariza.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
Rockets have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Harden against Thompson. Harden kicks to Capella. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Well, I tell you what, it's easy to get spoiled watching this fella. I mean, he just makes it look so simple. Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle a defense.
Here's Green, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love, but I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch 4-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
First one falls for him. And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I call him a value-utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better, and while he's not an all-star yet, the sum of his total contributions on the floor are impressive.
Just a positive force right now for these guys, and though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Now here's Curry. He's got 14. Puts it up from 12. The rebound by Anderson. Rockets trail by 18. Paul outside. Anderson outside. Thompson against Harden. Kicks it out to Paul. Draymond Green with the rebound.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on them.
Thompson from long range. Can't get it to go. And Houston the other way now.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
8 feet away. Capella gets to Ariza. Paul against Curry. Second chance shot, and it's Paul penetrating. Durant with the steal. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
Different look here for the Warriors. West is checked in for JaVale McGee. Iguodala comes in for Draymond Green. Young's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Houston with a big group substitution here. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. P.J. Tucker comes in for Anderson. Gerald Green, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And Eric Gordon subbed in for James Harden. For so long, there has been this mindset that Golden State wins through offense. But their defense, Gia, you were talking about this, is where the true strength of this team lies.
Yeah, I think that's what's really allowed them to separate when you look at the rest of the league. I mean, they led the league in opponents' field goal percentage last season. And some nights, the shots weren't falling, but the defense always showed up.
Looney's checked in for Golden State. Here's Green. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Kicks it out to Paul. Second chance shot. Paul can't get that one to fall.
He's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
West a screen on Green. West outside. And Young, here we go. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And that's the kind of move that will always pay off, even against tight defense like he was facing on that possession. And guys, it looked like Nick Young had finally put it all together. I mean, he had a huge campaign 2 years ago. Signs the new 4-year deal. Then last year, disaster strikes. I mean, he provided very little to the team outside of shooting the basketball. And even with that, he dropped to a career worst, 37% from the field.
Now, here's Tucker. He sinks the 11-footer.
P.J. Tucker.
1:37 left to play in the third. Here is Livingston. Inside, here's West. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Well, Greg, getting back to Young, it's tough to completely judge him on last year's numbers because he was fighting through knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kinds of things. Clark only played 42 games.
Yeah, but when he's right, he can light it up. I mean, he's a go-to scorer, but he just never got right last season.
Sean Livingston. That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
1:07 left in the third quarter. Green, the pass to Gordon. Picked off in midair.
In this quarter alone, already 7 points off turnovers.
And it's plays like that which have them trailing.
Young's shot is off.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he could continue to get looks like that.
40 seconds left to play here in the third. 0-1 near Iguodala as he lets it go. Drops in the tray. Iguodala's got 5 now.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Young up top, defended by Gordon. And Young, here we go. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
With one.
6 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Tucker. Offline with his 3. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The Warriors on top as they... Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. The Rockets shooting for the game at 42%. Looney out there with West. Then there's Caspi, and it's Young, and it's Livingston in at the point. That's the Warriors 5. To the inside. West at the elbow. Shoots from 14, and they get it back. Harden outside. Launches it. That one goes. Count it. Harden's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Rockets. Here is Livingston. Young dishes to West. That's tipped. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. It's Harden with the drive. Tucker. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Shots, gentlemen. That's his first personal foul. At the line for the Warriors, P.J. Tucker. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. The Rockets were terrific on the road last season, Clark. Tied for second with the Clippers for the most road wins in the league.
26-15, although if you want to get picky about it, they had one of those wins in Mexico City, so maybe 25.5 road wins for them.
And I do remember that Mexico City game last year for the Rockets. A huge turnout for them. It felt like they were the crowd favorites. Still, you can't take anything away from their road performances last season.
Stolen by Tucker. A solo fast break. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Left side Curry. Baseline Jay on the way. Here's Looney. No good again that time.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Curry against Harden. And Houston again with the bucket.
And, you know, you think about the Rockets, as you mentioned. I mean, one reason they were so good on the road is their offense didn't miss a beat when they left Houston. When you can get to the line as much as they did, you remain consistent on the road.
Here's Looney. He's guarded by Mbamute. Back to Young. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And again, no good by Golden State. Rockets trail by 19. over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. The feed to Tucker. Back to Harden. From the top of the key. Good. Harden's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Despite the play of the team, I think he's had an outstanding game. He's really done well here.
Outside Curry. Young outside. Launches it. Again, Young missing. Now the Rockets with it. They've picked up 11 straight. Harden with it. And Young picks him up defensively. It's Harden with the drive. Stolen. Now Caspi. There's the dish to Young. Caspi with the bucket. And the Warriors lead by 19.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Harden kicks to Mbamute. Nene down low. Defended by West. Tries from the block, and it's Houston with another. Curry with it. Timeout called the Warriors.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Different look here for the Warriors. JaVale McGee's checked in for West. Green comes in for Looney. Durant's checked in for Caspi. And it's Klay Thompson in for Young. Houston with a big group substitution here. Capella's checked in. Anderson comes in for Mbamute. Trevor Ariza's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Paul subbed in for Johnson.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
They set the pick. Paul against Curry. Pulls up on the wing, and he gets the jumper to drop. Now, here's Thompson. He dishes it to Green. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. And that's 17 points for Draymond Green. And here are the Rockets. They're on a 15-6 run. Paul passes to Anderson. Kicks it out to Paul. Lets it go from deep. Wow, came this close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws. They get Stephen Curry.
And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever.
That free throw, no good. And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent that the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
And he nails the third.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
He feeds it to Green. McGee a screen. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Durant. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with the miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him. Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They have got to figure it out. And Draymond Green, guys, has won at every level. I mean, led Saginaw High School to 2 consecutive state championships at Michigan State, 2 trips to the Final Four, and now making noise with the Warriors. It's clear this guy's a winner.
And here is Curry. Passes it to Green. Back to Curry. Tipped away. Stolen by Harden. And it's Houston on the break. Banked in off the glass. Harden's got 34 points. And so it's Golden State with it. 17-point game. And here's a little-known fact, Clark. Only 3 players have recorded at least 2 triple-doubles in the NCAA tournament. They are Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson, and Draymond Green.
That's some elite company for Draymond Green. He's a hard worker, a guy you love if he's on your team. He can be an irritant if he's not with you, but continues to improve and prove his doubters wrong.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're trailing by 19. 1:49 left here in the 4th quarter. Harden dishes to Capella. Back to Harden. Feeds to Capella. Pass to Paul. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And it goes on Draymond Green.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And that one falls for Paul. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6. When I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
They get it back. The kick out to Young. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Looney passes to Iguodala. There's the pick. Here's Looney. A second chance effort. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. And the Warriors lead by 19.
And with the Rockets' last postseason, their trip to the conference finals was as far as they would go. Went out to the Warriors in 5 games. Most of them, though, close ones. I think most fans were pleased with how far the team went last year in spite of all the injuries.
Here's Tucker. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. 35 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here is Livingston, guarded by Green. Here's West. Some solid defense there by Nene. To the paint. The drive by Paul. Iguodala with the steal. Here is Livingston. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, what was the key in securing this win tonight?
Well, we had to get stops. You know, those guys, they got so many options, so many good players, man. We just had to rally around each other and get stops.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant. He notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering in some big, big plays and baskets. His point total shows everything that I'm talking about. The defense was like, what am I going to do? And he was like, nothing, because I'm toying with you.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
São Paris, São Paulo, França, Brasil. Aí, MSQ da UFP, Laboratório Fantasma. É nóis. Assim,
os manos no posto, trampando a contragosto, feliz ou oposto. Aposto que sei da dureza, que é a tristeza, deformando o seu rosto. Se calos falassem, talvez o mundo escutasse, olhar no impasse, olhasse, limpasse, brilhavam vocês. Juro, pras minas no fronte, que dor pra contar tem de monte. É tipo uma fonte dela, de fronte ela sonha com um novo horizonte. Trancada na cela ou numa favela. Medo é foda, pobre menina, sofre de verdade por toda a cidade. Ainda mais do que a palavra liberdade é feminina. Cidade luz, guetos, becos e pretos tristes como um blues. Mano, muçulmano, amor, islã. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Mil flor, mil dor, mil idioma, mil cor, tipo índio. Tio por, servos de Roma, frios por natureza morta. Legalité pour mon père, s'il vous plaît. Mil pra mim, mil pro select. Ma révolution é black, noir, check. Em matière, meilleur que hier. Ma terre me manque, c'est ma place. E o velho sonho, viver em paz. Com o necessário, sem ter demais. Verde, mais, verde, mais, verde, mais. Família.
Père, mère, frère, sœur, ange caïra. Même thème, cri du cœur, genre ça ira. Même refrain qui vient de ces zones amochées. Noisy LESC, zone à noche. Des vies décalées, des années. Que c'est l'alerte rouge comme condamné, détalé. S'en aller ou chialer, jamais. Plutôt qu'à l'aide, on entend crier. Pas année, ghetto couleur café. Non, c'est pas gagné. Si tu voulais taper, trop de barons, trop de casaniers qui tiendront baron de plus que ça ira. Ça ira. Se dit le brave type comme le scélérat. Pour le sale, favelas, même sort, même idée. Qu'on s'en sorte à l'espoir, tous fidèles. São Paulo, zona norte. Noisy LESC. Si. Ghetto youth, faut pas stresser. Ici, MC d'AFF. Si.
Tous les ghettos savent que les ghettos savent. plus que ça. Ira, ira, ira.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
Yo, Green, look what happened when the game got sloppy. Introducing the Lone Ranger, the Key Mosabi. The horses were big, the 10-gallon tracks. The hood cowboys with the 10-gallon raps. Racking ACG boots and baseball caps. I agree, this ain't a simulation of the doo-doo. This is the shot said to get used to. Gangstar foundation to treat. We branched off, shine eye, just waited our chance to blast off. Yeah, rounds in possession of